Hi. Well, for those of you who were on before, I am sorry about that. I think I have to be careful about accepting invitations from people when we're not sure where they're from or what it is they want to share. But welcome to another Third Party Thursday. And for those of you who are able to rejoin, I'm so happy that you'll be able to do that. I wanted to give you some updates today. I wanted to let you know that Third Party Thursday is going to be on other days. We have lots of different guests and people who are interested in coming on. We have intended parents. We have children born through donor conception. We have lawyers. We have doctors. And I am so thrilled that we have a platform where people can share this information. And sharing the information is the first step, right? We want to feel as if we're part of a group and we don't want to feel alone. And then the next step is opening this up to the community and opening this up to the world to understand that this is a normal way of conception through third-party reproduction. And so we have our effort going on to make sure that we can have this included in the medical record and have the doctors, have the nurses include that, ask the question, put it on a form, let the person sitting next to you see it on a form, let people know that we should all be comfortable in the way we were conceived. So with that in mind, we have our petition. We have quite a few signatures, and if anybody wants to continue to sign it, please do. You can get to it in my bio on the linked tree. It's right there. There's a little tab you can click and it's there. I also added a web page to my website called Third Party Reproduction, and on that I have some letters if anybody wants to download them to start to send letters out so that we can continue this groundswell of people talking about it, talking about adding third-party reproduction, donor conception, and adoption to the medical intake form. And let's not just add it to the medical intake form, let's add it to any kind of form, but we're going to start with the medical because we have to start somewhere. So we have a two-pronged approach going on, and that's what I realized after I was speaking to a few people. And we all know that, those of us who have been involved in following, and thank you all for joining. And so what it is that we are doing is we're working with the community. And working with the community is so important because we want everybody to feel comfortable in their own skin, and we want people to know that they're not alone, because that's the most important piece. And I've had people tell me when I talk to them individually, they're so tired of hearing people say we're not alone. But there's significance to that statement. That statement does not stand easily, because if we feel as if we are the only one, then we don't feel as if our voice can be heard. But when we put our voices together and we feel that support emotionally and maybe not physically today as much as virtually, well then we have strength, we have courage, we have confidence. And what we want to be able to communicate that to the rest of the world, because we want the rest of the world to be part of this so that it is integrated into society, and so that we don't have to feel as if we were conceived not through what people think should be a quote-unquote normal conception. I really don't love that word, but that is the word that we selected to use for this. But through that type of conception, then let's just go ahead and make it that way. Make it a comfortable thing. So we have the letters. The letters are on my website on the Third Party Reproduction page. You can download them. They're written to your personal doctor. You can add in your story if you want to let your doctor know that you think it's important they start asking that question. I personally went to a annual GYN visit, a little personal, but I did. And my doctor wasn't there, so I went to a new doctor who was in the practice. And she said that they never even ask, and she delivers babies, whether or not that child was born or they conceived through third-party reproduction, if there were any challenges. And she said, geez, we should really be asking that question. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yes, you should be asking that question. So I'm hoping through these communications that we have with individual doctors, it begins to change the conversation. And they begin to think when they're developing their medical intake forms that we should add that to the form. So these letters will be to your individual doctor. They'll be to the AMA, because ultimately the AMA can really help to move this forward with the medical societies. They can be to somebody in Congress. Now, I know this is not a congressional issue. It's not. But when you think that 1 in 8 people are touched, that means people in Congress are touched by this. whether it be fertility treatment, whether it be donor conception, whether it be adoption. And there's no reason for them not to be aware that this is going on. And also, there is a letter there for accreditation societies, which maybe if you're a physician or in the medical community, you may want to use, because the accreditation societies, for those of you who do not know, they're the ones who come in and make sure all the questions are being asked. They're making sure that all the I's are dotted when they evaluate a doctor's office or they evaluate a hospital. And so that's why those 4 letters are there. And if you want, just go to the website and you just click a button. I think it asks for your email, and then the letters are emailed to you, and then you can go ahead and send them. If you're not comfortable with a letter, then just even thinking about who in your circle you can begin to talk to, that would be wonderful. So we're going to start to continue working with the medical community as well as the general community. And if anybody has any questions or any comments or any suggestions, please don't hesitate to let me know, because I want to hear not just what I'm thinking, but what everybody else is thinking. That's how this gets going. It doesn't go forward without a community. And that's what I'm asking for help from the community with this. And I'm very, really touched and honored and blessed by the people who have reached out and have want to be involved. We're going to be doing a new webinar. I'm talking really fast, aren't I? We're doing another webinar in November. And on that webinar, we're going to be having a focus on parents and children born through third-party reproduction and adoption. And we'll have moms on it. We'll have, hopefully, adult children on it. A lawyer, and surrogacy agency. And I think that will give yet another perspective, since our first webinar was about educating just in general about why we want this. And so if there's something that you would like to hear about or know about, if you'd like to be involved in any of these efforts in a more direct manner, please let me know. Direct manner being taking on a little bit of a role in it. Please let me know. We're happy to include anybody who wants to work on it. So we're going to continue with our Instagram Lives. We have some really great people who want to come on, who will be coming on our schedule, who I'm excited to talk to. We're going to be trying to focus on the medical communities, medical societies, to see if we can make the change that way. And the petition is there, the letters are there, and the goal to make this happen is there. It will happen with everybody using their voice. So if anybody has any questions, any suggestions, any comments, please let me know. And I know I don't have very many today, but I just thank you all for joining. And I look forward to talking to you next week. We're going to have an embryologist on who's going to talk about conception. And then after that, we're going to have some people on who have used their voice to try and create this change. So thank you, everybody. That's a little bit of an update for today, and I look forward to being in touch soon. Bye-bye.